Okay, now the most important part. There are two essential aspects of becoming an illustrator. One is the qualities which you need to have as a person, and one are the skill sets which you need, which are the actual, hard skills which you require. So, what makes you a good illustrator? We are with Curiosians. We need to know, we have to be curious. We have to ask a lot of questions. We have to ask a lot of questions about the visuals we are seeing. At times, be quiet and also reflect and observe things around you. So people observe in different ways. Some people like to make notes of it. Some people will just like to see around. Some people will like to talk to people and learn about the place or wherever they are. Remember a song, and that's something which you really like, and it was in a certain situation. So maybe, when you create a scene of that sort in visuals, for example, you were on a camping trip and you heard this very nice song, and every time you want to create a if you are given a chance to create a scene for a camping trip, and say that song gave you happy memories, you'll probably want to recreate a picture like that. Being unapologetic to daydreaming, it's okay, sometimes you can zone out, you can be in your own world. It's absolutely fine, just don't judge yourself. Illustrators, I mean, especially, they generally have this tendency to share and express. So they don't want to just keep things to themselves, and that happens more through visuals. So be open to sharing and expressing. So, like Arindra said that he wants to start an Instagram account, go ahead, do that. And like I said, create a list of things that light you up. Now, this is when you know you are a good illustrator or you are someone who likes to do illustration. This is when you are actually on the field working with a client or independently doing illustration. What are the things that you need to keep in mind? So, ability to iterate. It basically means that if you're being requested to rework on something or adapt or change into a different style, you're able to do it. You need to be open to accepting feedback. Feedback doesn't mean always praises. Somebody can come up with something which is not sounding pleasing to your ears, but you need to take out what the person is trying to say. Because even the smallest of feedbacks, they always have an intention of, improving your artwork. Think about it like that. And a very important aspect of illustration, especially when it comes to people who want to get into editorial illustration, you need to understand the brief. If the client has given you a brief and he wants you to work on a particular content, you need to understand the content first and then visualize it. You cannot just make something on your own and say that this is how it will happen with this. Often there is this whole thing about designers and illustrators not meeting deadlines, but I think we need to change that culture. So meeting deadlines is important because ultimately it's for a business purpose. You need to have good communication skills because you'll be presenting ideas to your clients or to your stakeholders. So you need to have good presentation skills. You need to be able to communicate what you want to say. You need to be able to reflect on whatever people are telling you. You need to be able to reflect on things around you. So that's where again your journaling also comes in. Mental health is something which everybody is now talking about because of COVID. But as an illustrator, there is this whole thing of, an imposter syndrome. We feel that sometimes we are not as good as what we are showing out to the world. And we kind of don't want to, we're very scared of putting out our work at times, or we are too overconfident of doing that. We look at people who have like some 1,000 likes and we're like, oh my God, the work is not even good and it's still there. But I think we need to understand that all these are very external aspects, and I think internally you know yourself the best. A big thing is that often you'll hear that this profession doesn't pay you well. It's also about how much you're asking for. So you need to have the courage to ask for what you really require. If there is a point of difference when it comes, we say that you need to be open to feedback, but you should also try to explain. If you're believing in a point and if you have a strong point, you need to have the courage to explain to your client that this, you have to give them a rationale that why you're doing this. And there will be dull days. You will not be getting your ideas in a moment. You might have, you'll take probably days. Aditi knows it, like we worked on illustration together, it took me a lot of days. You have to be a biggest cheerleader. Sometimes even parents will not understand, your friends will not understand, people around you will be having probably their own share of trouble. So you need to be your biggest cheerleader. And persistence is there. I just touched upon it, but I'll just reinstate it that, it's important that even if your work is not being appreciated, you need to just, if you love something, you just need to keep doing it again and again. You're going to improve. You will see an improvement. It has to happen. So these are the softer aspects. Now let's get to the more serious ones. Okay, all of you, if you are planning in future to go for an art college, undergrad programs are available. So either you go for a BFA or an animation or a graphic design. All of these are basically helping you create illustrations. I will. I would definitely recommend looking at fine arts and animations because they are much more rigorous when it comes to illustration. But if you want to go do something in graphic design, then you should probably think of a bachelor's in graphic design itself. But if you want to do illustration, I would recommend you to pick up something in animation or fine arts. And also, if for some reason you probably don't want to do bachelor's in that as of now, you can still continue working and creating artworks, and in your postgrads you can do the same thing. My only request is that if you are very clear that you want to do something in illustration, you should think of it immediately in the immediate future, because the years we have now are, what you guys have with you, they actually, you are in a more carefree environment right now compared to what you will be when you are growing up. So I know that there is no fixed time, but I will suggest that if you're very sure, go for undergrad program. But if you're not sure, like I said, art illustration is for everybody, so you can always opt for a postgrad program.
Can we have this like I have to become a CA and I can do illustration side by side and open account in Fiverr website and deal with clients there in illustration, like a side business?
Sorry, I didn't get you. So you, after becoming a CA, what are you planning to do?
Ma'am, actually I want to become a CA, but art is kind of a thing that I always like to do, so I can join a program or online sessions which will help develop my skills. Then I can upload my account into Fiverr website and deal with clients and open a illustration business on myself like an entrepreneur.
Absolutely, you can do that. So if you know you want to become a CA, and you're very sure that you want to alongside continue art, first understand what exactly you want to do, whether you want to, what will give you happiness. That is also very important. We sometimes feel that we need stability, but it also depends on how much of that stability will bring you happiness. I always urge people to think about this, because in the long term it doesn't matter. You can still be at your job unhappy, or you can be balancing both as well. So if you're planning to do that, go ahead. Keep like creating content. Don't stop it, because what happens that when the work starts piling up, you will have lesser and lesser time for illustration. But if you genuinely like it, make a habit. Just have a time limit of 10 minutes in a day and doodle something. That's it. So at least you will be in touch with it. But give yourself very small goals and start with it. That's what I'll
Yes.
recommend.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to add to this, Arun. So it's the day and age of content, and content being both visual, which covers illustration and other elements of design, and the written format. So even when it comes to earning money and, so to say, having a stable job, it cannot be better than this domain. I'm not going to compare it with the likes of CA, but it's going to give you more than enough. And I'm sure we will account for it to lead a very happy and successful life when it comes to comparing things at a monetary level. So happiness, yes, but even from a monetary standpoint, it's the day and age of design and of content. So be mindful of that while
Yes.
making your choices and your decisions.
Yes.
I agree with Aditi. So yeah.
Ma'am,
Now,
now may I show my painting which I made? Two paintings.
Anna, let's finish this. Was that Anna or who was that?
Ma'am, it was me, Anna.
Yeah, let's finish. I think we well over time as
I
well.
don't
And it's
see.
2 o'clock.
Hmm.
So I think we should try and close this now. Anna, maybe we can connect with Vidhi on Discord.
Yeah, ma'am, sure.
Cool. Yeah, Vidhi, back to you.
Okay. Sorry. So yeah, just as I just had to.
Ria has asked for free tools. Ria, again, I'll ask Vidhi to share a list of the same. I agree. Free is the key word here, Vidhi. I think that most students, and even I would be interested in. Everything else seems to be paid for online. So let's share this with you, Ria, in a while on Discord, if that's okay.
Yeah. So
Anything else, guys? Sorry, back to you, Vidhi. Sorry.
no, so that's it. So I think Aryan brought about this thing where he wants to go in an unconventional way. So this is what I was talking about. Uh, Earlier, also, I told you about this artist who started learning to draw when she was 30, and at the age of 40, she became a very renowned illustrator. So there is no time for you to become a creative. You've always been a creative. Each of us are creative, and it's it's just, if it's something which you're inclined towards, make sure you have time for it. So there is no defined way, but definitely it helps if you have some initial skill sets with you. There is definitely a bonus in going to an art school and learning about it. You become more visually sensitive. We spoke about the 10 principles. They get ingrained in you, so it's very important to be conscious of what you are seeing also. When we consume, what are the things which we do not like. So there are things which our brains do not agree upon, like, there's this, for example, for me, I am not into watching violent movies. So my artworks are also simpler. They have elements which are more towards peace. So what you consume is what you create as well. So you need to be very mindful of those things if you have aims of creating things of that sort. If you're into creating soothing paintings, you might as well listen to soothing music. So that really helps you.